Titanic. The Titanic was discovered in 1985. The Titanic sunk in 1912. The survival rate for the Titanic was 60% of first class survived, 42% of second class survived, 25% of third class, and less than 25% of the crew. This is Mount St. Helens. It erupted in 1980. Its ashes went all the way to Alaska, and it erupted in Seattle. This is the Space Shuttle Challenger crew. The Space Shuttle Challenger was an experiment. As soon as it blasted off, it exploded. This is the Berlin Wall before they tore it down. This is where the Berlin Wall once stood. The Berlin Wall was took down in 1989.
Ronald Wilson Reagan, 1911 to 2004, because the 40th President of the United States in 1981. Before entering politics, he had been an actor for nearly 30 years. Oprah Winfrey has her own production company named Harpo, hosted the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she is also an Emmy Award winner. Diana Ross, born in 1944 in Detroit, Michigan, is an American singer, actress, and record producer. She became Motown's most successful act. Her group was called The Supremes. Tom Cruise is a popular American movie star known for his good looks. Cruise's first film role was in Endless Love, 1981. Other early roles included The Outsiders, 1983, and The Risky Business, 1983. His first major success, he became a star in the military film Top Gun, 1986. Muhammad Ali, 1960 Olympic heavyweight champion, three-time world heavyweight champ, 1964, 1974 through 78, 1978 through 79. Ali retired from boxing in 1981 at age 39. In 1984, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Ali died in 2006.
Michael Jackson was a super famous singer back in the 1980s. Tom Cruise is an American actor and producer, and he was in a lot of movies and is still alive today. Ronald Reagan was the 40th president in the 1980s. Eddie Murphy became famous at the age of 15. He also was a performer on the television program Saturday Night Live. He co-wrote with Michael Jackson in the song We Are the World. Prince was an American singer and songwriter. He would also do rhythm, blues, rock, and pop music. Magic Johnson was a famous African-American basketball player. Michael J. Fox was a Canadian-born actor and is in the movie Back to the Future. She was a famous actor and then switched to doing good deeds. Princess Diana was known for her charity work, and many people called her Princess.
Jesse Louis Jackson was a civil rights activist and was a candidate for Democratic presidential nomination in 1984 and 1988. Ronald Wilson Reagan became the 40th President of the United States in 1981 to 1989. Michael Jackson was an American singer, dancer, and songwriter. Michael Jordan became one of the most exciting players in the National Basketball Association, or the NBA.
The United States Airlines Terminal O'Hare was made in 1985 and finished in 1988. It is made by Helmut John.
The Vietnam War Memorial was created by Maya Lin, and she finished it in 1982.
The Portland Museum of Art was made by Henry Cobb, and he finished making it in 1982.
Henry Cobb was born April 8, 1926 in Boston, Massachusetts, and is an American architect.
Helmut John was born in Nuremberg, Germany on January 4, 1940, and grew up watching the reconstruction of the city. Maya Lin made the 10% Veteran Memorial in 1982. Maya Lin made the, in 1989, Civil Rights Memorial.
Hug Noel Jacobson was elected into the National Academy of Designs in 1988.
The Sinclair ZX80 was released for under 100 pounds in England. On the 22nd of May, the game Pac-Man was released on the computers.
A calculator watch is a digital watch with a built-in calculator. Usually includes buttons on the watch face. Calculator watches were first introduced in the 1970s and continue to be produced despite falling from their peak during the 80s. The most notable brand is the Casio Databank series. In Western Europe and North America, the market for cassettes declined sharply after its peak in the late 80s. Atari was started in 1970. In 1977, Atari made the first popular video game that people could play at home. In 1984, another company bought Atari. The Canon AE-1 program made its debut in 1981, the successor of the Canon AE-1. Simon was launched in 1978 at Studio 59 in New York City and was an immediate success, becoming a pop culture symbol of the 1970s and 80s. The NES was originally the family computer and it was released in Japan in 1983. There, it sold over 2.5 million units during its first year. Donkey Kong 2 is a Game & Watch game released as a part of the multi-screen series on March 7, 1983. It is a dual-screen single-player Game & Watch with a brown body. Pong is one of the earliest arcade video games. It is a table tennis sports game featuring simple two-dimensional graphics. The game was originally manufactured by Atari. John DeLorean self-named the sports car with a stainless steel body.
1983 marked the turn of the Mustang cover after 9/11.
And it was the first year the blue oval Ford symbol was used. In the 1980s, there was a car launched named the Spider. The Cadillac Eldorado was made in
1987.
The first Back to the Future movie was made in 1985, which starred Michael J. Fox, who had acted as Marty McFly. Have you heard of the movie E.T.? It was made in 1982 and is the fourth highest grossing film of all time in the U.S. and Canada.
Ghostbusters is an American comedy movie. It is about people trying to trap and fight ghosts. It was released on June 8, 1984. Have you heard of Karate Kid? Well, it starred Ralph Macchio and it was made in 1984. Top Gun won the Academy Award for the Best Music, and it was released May 16, 1986.
The movie Indiana Jones was made in 1981 and starred Harrison Ford. The first movie was rated as
Michael Jackson was a famous singer in the 1980s. Check out his clothes. Cyndi Lauper had red hair and crazy outfits from the 1980s. These men are in geometric shapes. This girl is wearing neon bright colors because in the 1980s they wear neon. These people are wearing neon colors and have bead necklaces, and check out their hair. Here is a good example of crimped hair. You use a special iron to make tiny zigzags in the hair. Anna, a popular singer in the 1980s, started a trend of tying wrap in her curly hair. Wow, mall bangs. Teenagers like to style their hair this way. This is the 80s pop star Tiffany. She had permed hair. Permed hair was a big thing in the 80s. Hairstyles required a lot of hairspray in the 80s. Aquanet was a popular brand. This is one of the Thompson twins. He had bright colored hair. His hair was tuned with lots of hairspray and back color.
This is very expensive and was at a cost of $120.
This is
one of the magazines from the 1980s, and it has an absolutely perfect. This was a very expensive dress and was at a cost of $120, but was very fashionable. This is a very popular dress in the 1980s and has those little spikes on it.
This is Teddy Ruxpin, and he is a talking bear and moves his mouth and eyes when he is reading a story.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first appeared in a comic book in 1980.
Were made in 1982 by Hasbro. They are worms that light up when you squeeze them.
Transformers are the robots that turn into vehicles and other things.
Trash Kids are soft dolls that are made of cloth. They were very popular in the mid-80s.
In 1886, Dr. John S. Pemberton made Coca-Cola. It was a popular drink in the 1980s. As you can see, the logo on Coke has changed a lot from 1980s to 2000 to 2019. In 1982, Diet Coke was made.
In 1989, Billy Joel mentioned the rivalry between Pepsi and Coke in the song We Didn't Start the Fire, following that Pepsi used Michael Jackson for advertising.
Pepsi's logo has changed a lot from the 1980s to 2019.
Snapple's True Root Beer was a clear, lightly carbonated drink from 1983 to the late 80s.
Icy Ecto Cooler was a bright green drink released in 1987 through 1996.